welcome back to Bountiful Blessing Homestead. Today we are going to make applesauce together. And as a byproduct of applesauce, we're going to make apple cider. So that's going to be exciting too. We have a nifty gadget here that we're going to use to peel, slice, and core our apples. So if you put the side with the stem into the prongs, it makes it easier. You have your blade here. This is very sharp, so you want to make sure that you don't cut your hand with that. And then we're going to just turn it. We'll peel it and core it. There we are. We're going to pull the apple off, and it is ready to go. We're going to toss it into our container. We're going to put our peels in another container right here, which is the top of our juicer. So we'll throw those in there. We can also throw our cores in there and use those. Oops. So we got that part done. And then we will move on to the next apple. We're going to get all of these apples peeled, sliced, and cored. And then once we get done with that, we will move on to the next step of putting them into our roaster pan, and we'll talk about the recipe for the applesauce. So we'll be back as soon as we get done with some of this work. All right.
Oh, he did not look at it.
So look, Bubby, if you push this down and then you pull that towards you,
It goes.
look at that. All right.
I think it was bitter.
We're going to put that on there. All right. Now can you turn it? Go, boy. Keep going the same direction. Good job. Keep going.
Look at you go.
You are a master apple peeler corer. Good job. All right, now take your apple pieces. Take your apple pieces and put them in the bowl. That bowl.
I'll eat that.
And then these pieces are going to go in here.
Yeah, his face is all broke out.
Oh, you can have a piece of apple.
No, broke out. His cheeks
Okay.
were rosy.
Do we have another apple?
Right here.
All right, let's get her done.
Grab what you need. What are you doing?
Do you remember how to get that back?
You'll have to take turns with Bubba.
Good job.
I don't know if I'm going to use this one.
All right, here you go.
Right there.
Now, this part right here is really sharp, so don't ever touch this or this, okay? They're
I
both
already
really
know.
sharp. Okay, you already know.
You showed me before.
Oh, okay. Dang, you got some arm muscles. Wow.
Keep going, keep going.
Yeah, we're going to cut that part off. We'll take that part off and put it in the recycle or in the compost.
Cut it off.
Yep, we'll get the brown part off. There we go. And then this part can go in here. And that's going to go in the compost.
Grandma, part of Landon's lesson for apple is showing him the seeds on the inside so he understands why apples can regrow on trees.
Oh, okay. So on any part of what we just did, do you see any seeds? Are they inside there?
Yeah.
Ask Grandma to break it in half for you.
Freaking
You look like a star.
Look at that. So inside here are the seeds. So what do you think if we, what can we do with these seeds if we wanted to have more apples? Plant them?
Yeah.
You think we could dry them out and plant them?
Yeah.
Should we save a few?
Yeah.
And see if they'll grow into a little plant? Okay. We'll take these out and we'll set them aside. I'll put them, I got one on the floor here. I'll put them in on the counter over here so they don't get lost. And then we'll see if we can, we've got some seeds there. And we'll see if we can grow them into a plant. How's that sound? All right, cool. We'll do it.
Careful. Good job.
Good job, buddy.
So get careful with that blade.
That's a big apple, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Some are bigger than others.
Yay, Bubba!
Yeah, Baba.
You want another piece of apple?
Yeah, apples.
Please?
Please, apples.
There you go, buddy.
What do you say?
Give me Mama.
You're welcome.
Mama.
Lydia, go lay down, baby. Go lay
Okay,
down.
good job, buddy.
Go lay down.
Got it.
Okay.
No.
Got another one?
Yeah.
No.
Nope.
Smacked her butt.
Do what?
That's all your pizza.
That's okay. It'll peel off. You're squirting me with all the apple juice.
Right.
Uh-oh. That one broke in the middle. Okay, hang on.
Oh. Oh,
Let me get a knife and I'll help.
I got it. Oh my gosh.
Wow, that didn't work out.
Let's see, I'm going to cut the skin off.
Perfect apple.
and
I
put
got
in
it.
here.
I got a little skin off
You
from
lay
the
down.
braid part. Where it's cutting the apple.
Lydia.
Ew, ew, ew.
Do not climb up here. Do down. I am bigger than you. Probably not. But
No, you're not.
chewing on that. Stop.
What's she showing her?
Her leash.
Yeah, she does.
You don't crack it. No. You know what? Go on.
Squirt you, squirt
She
you.
wants you. That's what she was trying to get over there. Mom.
I know. She's fine.
Leesburg. Who's calling me Leesburg?
It might be the pediatrician though.
Hello?
Look at that seed.
There's some seeds in here. Come on, seeds.
Yeah, for sure.
Seeds. Mommy.
Awesome. Thank you. You too. Bye-bye.
Mommy. Mommy. Go.
Pediatrician.
Are you
He's
getting
confirming
seeds?
his Monday appointment.
He's getting seeds out.
He's confirming his appointment for Monday.
Yeah, and she asked if I could come in at 9:30 to do
Can you
the
cut
patient
this piece right
paperwork.
here? Go, kids.
Chocolate.
Want milk?
Go.
You want to drink the mommy's chocolate milk?
Yeah, milk.
What do you say?
Please, milk.
Okay.
Where do you put the rest of the seeds?
He's really got words coming along.
Mm-hmm.
That's
We
awesome.
were just talking about that yesterday.
His vocabulary's coming along.
Oh, just within the last 5 months of them being here.
Mommy,
When he
mommy.
first got here, he only knew like 3 words.
What,
I
baby?
know.
Can you turn around?
Yeah, we can over it, okay?
You're squirting me. You're squirting me. No, don't go back the other way, baby. There you go. Because you got to get the
Seeds.
well, you got to get this all the core all the way out.
Stop.
Careful.
Cut some seeds. Hurry. Yes. This one's broken.
Is it? That's okay. Throw it in there.
Sorry,
We'll
seed.
cook it down.
Hey Debbie, it's Jessica Brown. How are you?
I actually dropped them.
I'm pretty good. I just wanted to call to make a payment on my Visa.
Am I recording?
Can you just put 50 on there for me, please? Alrighty, thank you. Have a good one.
Careful
Okay.
now. Do it nice and even.
At least I know which
It's stuck.
Is it going?
Rocky messaged me and asked if I still need to pay my credit card. Like, oh, yeah. Forgot about
Probably a
that.
good idea.
Been a long day. Totally forgot about it. Alright.
What did he say about your heart doctor appointment?
He seems happy.
Yeah?
Jordan was happy.
Good.
Although I was kind of bracing myself. Rocky's really come a long ways. As far as like
Right
stepping
here.
up and taking care of the house and the kids and
Take it
stuff.
right here.
And I know that if something happened, that he'd be okay to take care of the kids.
No, he wouldn't. They'd have to come to me.
I'm sure he would give you joint custody. We've
No.
never
Where's my
talked
way in
about
there?
that before.
We would have plenty of time together because he would need us to watch kids so he could work and do different things he needs to do. And
That's what I said. You guys would pretty much.
You're
have
gonna
joint-
get that all over your shirt.
You guys would pretty much have joint custody. 'Cause
I need a
the
napkin.
kid would live.
No. Hang on.
Okay, so here we have our juicer. And inside the juicer, we have water in the bottom. Okay, and we're gonna have to make sure that we keep filling that water up as we are making juice because it will boil away if we are not careful. So here are our peels and our cores from our apples that we've been doing for applesauce. We're gonna put those in the top. The water is gonna boil down here. The steam is going to come up through here. It's going to steam this, and it's going to come down into the middle, and then this is the spout where the juice will come out. And then when we have the spout, we'll put the juice into jars, and we will water bath can it. So we're going to get this going, and then as we're doing the apples for the applesauce, we can continue to add our peels and our cores and things to the top here. You could do this with actual apples, like full apples. But I find that this is a way that we can repurpose and use our skins and our cores without just throwing them away. I could feed them to the goats and the chickens, but we can get some really good apple cider out of this, then we're going to do that. So we will come back when we are getting ready to transfer our apples into the cooker over here for applesauce.
No, other way.
Okay, so we are going to start putting apples into our roaster. And this is how we're going to make our applesauce. We are going to set it to 350 on the dial here. You can see that. 350 right here. And we're going to put about a quart of water in the bottom of the roaster just until the apples start to, kind of reduce down and make their own juice. We don't want them to scorch in the bottom of the roaster. So we're going to go ahead and put about a quart of water in the bottom of the roaster. And then we're also going to start adding the apples as well as the ingredients. Now, a lot of people will put a couple of teaspoons of nutmeg, a couple of teaspoons of ginger, different seasonings. I actually happen to have from Azure a apple pie seasoning mix that's already mixed up. So I'm going to add my apple pie seasoning mix and my brown sugar and white sugar to my applesauce and get that going. And then start letting that cook down. It'll probably take about 15 to 20 minutes, maybe 25 depending, for these apples to cook down. And then we'll grab our immersion blender and we will get them blended up so we can start getting ready to can. All right, so we have our roaster full of apples. And now we're going to give it about 20, 25 minutes, see how they're doing. We'll give them a few stirs here and there. I'm going to add a little bit of sugar. And then we will come back and check on them in about 20 minutes. Okay, our apples are done cooking. They've cooked down quite a bit. This is an immersion blender, if you're not familiar, and it is fabulous. And I've gone through and kind of broken everything up, like so. And now I'm just going to do some blending with this until I get it to the consistency that I want for my applesauce. So you can see that it's starting to get consistency of applesauce. So we still have a ways to go. We're going to get this mixed up the rest of the way with the immersion blender, and then we will come back. Okay, we have it all mixed up into applesauce. It's good consistency for applesauce here. So now I'm going to get my jars. I've got a water bath canner over here with my jars in it. I've got the water heating up and keeping the jars warm. So I'm going to get the jars out of there, and then I'm going to fill them with the applesauce. And then when I get done with that, I will put new lids on them and rings on them that I have sterilized, and I will put them back in the water bath canner. They're going to water bath can for 10 minutes, I believe. I'll check the time, and I'll let you know when I get to that point. So I will be back shortly once I start jarring these up. All right, we ended up with 18, is that right, or 15? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. 15 pints of applesauce. Yum! Homemade applesauce. So I'm going to take a paper towel. I have put white vinegar on this, and I'm going to wipe all of the rings around the edges. You can see like right here, let's see, right here. There's some applesauce there. We want to clean that off the rim. We don't want anything on the rim because we want to make sure that we get a good seal, okay? So we're going to wipe all the rims off, make sure we get them all clean and we don't have anything on the rims with the white vinegar. The vinegar will actually help take any kind of residue off really well. You can use water and you can use a cloth. You don't have to use a paper towel, but I try to use the white vinegar because I just think it works better. So I'm going to get these all cleaned up. And then over in this little container here, this little pot, I have my lids boiling, getting sanitized. So I'm going to put those on. I'll put the rings on. Get these all done. And then they're going to go in the water bath canner, as is my cider. So this is the juice that I've been pulling off of the, as you can see here, the remnants from the peels and the cores of the apples. So looks like I'm going to get a good quart out of that. If not, maybe another pint after that. I'm going to add some sugar to this and get it sweetened up some, and maybe some cinnamon. And then that will get water bath canned along with these pints of applesauce. So exciting stuff. So we'll get that going and then we will be back in a minute. The other thing we're going to do is we're going to use our spacer and we're going to go around the edges and make sure that we have no air bubbles. We probably don't because applesauce is very liquidy, so it's not like you're canning potatoes or something that would have spaces that air could get trapped in. But just to make sure we don't have any air trapped in there that could move to the top during the canning process and make these explode, we want to make sure we get everything accounted for. So just going to go around them, make sure that we don't have any air, and then I will pull my lids out. So this is not probably, like I said, a big deal with this applesauce, but if you're doing potatoes, carrots, green beans, anything where there's spaces where that air could get trapped in there and then bubble up during the canning process, you want to make sure that you get all the air out of there so that you don't have that problem. Same thing with apple pie filling, which we're going to be doing here shortly. We want to make sure that we are not having that problem. So, all right, so we've got our lids here, brand new lids, so that they'll get a good seal. They've been sanitized. And then I'm going to go get the rings and we will put the rings on. And we're going to get our rings on, fingertip tight. Pull this one out. Whew, hot. All right, so we're going to get our rings on, get these tightened up, and we will get these puppies in the canner. Okay, so it's been 20 minutes. We're going to take the lid off. Whew, that's warm. Away from us so that the steam does not get us. Set this over here. Okay, and we're going to take our jars out. And set them on a rack to cool. I just have a cookie rack here that I use for my cookies to cool on when I take them out of the oven, and that's what I'm setting these on. And I get these out and put what's left in. And I decided I've only got like a quart and maybe a pint of the juice that came out so that I could use that for cider. So I've decided I'm not going to actually can that because the quart is much higher than the pints, and the water bath then will be much higher on the pints than it should be, because it's only supposed to be about an inch above your cans, so or your jars. So what I'm going to do is just put that in the fridge, and then when Tim gets home, he can have it. Jessica wanted some for her house, so then they can take the other jar over there. Yeah, so let me pull these up so we can hang this up here. If I can get a hold of it. There we go. All right, and we'll get our other jars put in. I have 5 left to do. I'm just going to space them around the circle here. And then 1 in the middle. So there's our 5, okay? And we can, where's my other hot pad? Here it is. Lift this up, set it down gently in the water. Now, enough water has evaporated that it's not up over the top anymore. So I'm going to add some water. I'm just going to grab some in a bowl and fill this up over the top, an inch over the top of those jar lids. Put the lid back on my pot. Once that gets rolling again, then I'm going to put it for, it's 20 minutes, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that before. Water bath those for 20 minutes, and then we'll be ready to go to pull those out. And then I can go to bed because I'm pooped. So, yeah, that's all there is to it. I hope you enjoyed this little lesson in applesauce, homemade applesauce. It's beautiful. And, yeah, so we'll do some more with the Granny Smith apples this weekend. We're going to make some apple butter. And then we're also going to do some apple pie filling, I think, and have that jarred up ready to go. So until next time, I hope you are blessed and be a blessing to others. Have a good night.